Once again, it's an Olympic year, and oftentimes in the context of sports and physical training, we talk about all the advantages it is to be male and have more testosterone. Well, today, I will elucidate upon the myriad advantages to be female. That's right, ladies, you have superpowers when it comes to physical training, and I'm going to explain them to you right now. Let's start off with estrogen, specifically E2, estradiol. Ladies obviously produce this naturally. Men, we generate ours through a conversion of testosterone with an enzyme called aromatase that is generated in our adipose tissue. So that's right, men, if you carry too much body fat, it's going to affect your testosterone levels. The more fat you carry, the more aromatase you produce, and the more of your testosterone can get converted into E2. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Estrogen is vital in humans of all genders. It's responsible for your bone health, it's cardioprotective, neuroprotective, it's responsible for your brain health. It's an indispensable resource. And so the common misconception that, as a male, you want just maxed out testosterone levels, zero estrogen, and that's going to be the magic bullet that solves all your health problems is way off the mark. And by the way, folks, the difference in male and female hormone levels isn't that women have a ton more estrogen, it's they have way less testosterone. It's a ratio of estrogen to testosterone that makes the difference. And other things like DHT, but that's not what this video is about. I only bring all that up because part of the basis for women's superpowers, let's say, when it comes to physical activity, is the balance of estrogen to testosterone leaning more on the side of estrogen. So what are some of these powers I keep speaking of? Well, the first one pertains to volume. At just about any given intensity, women can perform more reps than their equivalent male counterpart. They can also handle more sets, and they recover from set to set and from session to session a lot faster than their male counterparts doing the same amount of work. What does this mean? What can we extrapolate from this superpower? This is huge, ladies, because hypertrophy training notwithstanding, where volume is one of the key determining factors to how effective your training is, in terms of skill development, you can just train a lot more than your equivalent male counterpart can, so you can get better faster by just having more trigger time. That doesn't even take into account that women generally have much higher resistance to physical discomfort than men do. Now, there's more than just physiology that goes into this, right? I mean, there's culture, there's, the environment that you grew up in, there's exposure to various other factors, right? It's a combination of nature and nurture, but just on a raw physiological level, as organisms, the female, at least of the human species that we're talking about specifically here in this video, has more pain resistance than the male. And that makes sense because males don't have to worry about childbirth. So volume is pretty much the first superpower. Well, it's a combination of things. It's not only the ability to perform the volume, but it's the ability to survive the volume, to recover the volume, which dovetails nicely into the next superpower that you ladies have, which is that you can handle far more metabolic stress than the equivalent male counterpart. So what does that mean? We're talking things like blood flow restriction. We're talking things like just a buildup of metabolites in the muscle. We're talking about lactate buffering, going into that pain cave. There's a reason why, women take to sports like CrossFit very well. Volume tolerance, quick recovery, pain tolerance, and ability to handle more metabolic stress. That sounds like the perfect storm for an elite CrossFit athlete. Or grappler, or a variety of sports. And as they say, the rich get richer. The interest that women get with higher volumes of training is compounded even further because of the increased frequency that they can train with. This is because not only do they recover faster from set to set, but workout to workout, day to day. What this essentially means is if you get a male and a female there, and let's just say for the sake of this discussion that everything's the same. They're identical twins. They're genetically identical other than one is XX, one is XY, and they have the, equivalent hormone profile for their respective sexual genotype, okay? If they train exactly the same for the same amount of time, while the male will, at the margins, be likely stronger and faster by a slight margin, the female will be able to last a lot longer in that given activity, endure much more discomfort, probably be way better at it because she's been able to train more and for longer than the male has. And so at the end of the day, if we're talking about an activity that indexes very strongly towards like 1 rep max or very short bursts of speed, like a 100-meter dash, a 40-yard sprint, 1 rep max clean and jerk, 1 rep max deadlift, the male twin is probably going to be better at those sports, but then literally everything else, the female has the advantage. So, ladies, find a form of physical activity that you enjoy doing, and guess what? The world is your oyster. You essentially have all the advantages -2 max strength and max speed simply through the merits of your biology. When it comes to sports and physical training, folks, women are dope. And I can tell you from personal experience, as somebody that's been to war more than once, in life or death situations, it's a lot more valuable to not get tired, and if you do, recover faster, than it is to be a little bit stronger or a little bit faster than the other guy. So ladies, find something that you love to train and train it a lot, because you can. Add consistency to your already expansive list of superpowers. Stay in the fight. And continue to be awesome like nature intended you to be. Thanks for watching.